We're here at CBS Center Court, and we're taking brackets to the next level with our brand new Bracket Mountain.
DB, we're talking about a revolutionary way to track the action. Now, CBS coverage kicks off Thursday, and Don, you made your picks. Let's check them out, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so we're going to start in the South and a big upset in round one. I got 13th-seeded Yale beating Texas A&M, but it's overall #1 Auburn advancing to the Final Four.
All right, not much of a surprise there. One of the better teams in the country. Let's go out west.
All right, this may surprise some peeps, really. I have #1 seed Florida winning a game, then packing their bags. Instead, I have Missouri climbing Bracket Mountain to the Elite Eight. I have their run ending against two-time defending champion UConn. The Huskies. I have the Huskies making it back to the Final Four.
A stunner as an 8 seed. Danny Hurley looking for that three-peat. Let's go to the Midwest. What's happening there?
All right, so I have 7th-seeded UCLA knocking off 2nd-seeded Tennessee before losing to Kentucky. I like Mick Cronin as a coach. He tends to get it done. But it's Houston heading to the Final Four.
You like Mick Cronin in those nice suits.
He is dandy, right?
All right, I agree with you there. How about the East bracket?
All right, so not too many upsets in the East, right? So keep an eye, though, on the 8-9 game with Baylor beating Mississippi State. A lot of chalk the rest of the way. Duke claiming the mountain and heading to the Final Four. That's why I have 3 #1s and the defending champs. I know it's feeling chalky. Houston, Duke, Auburn, and UConn. I have the Blue Devils going home as national champions.
Cooper Flag and the Duke Blue Devils. I like that. All right.
Yeah, they are chock-loaded with NBA talent as always as well. Pat Gallen filled out his bracket, and get ready to have your mind blown. We're looking at a brand new Bracket Mountain. Pat, let's get after it.
I love this thing. You ready to go for a climb? See who makes it to the top of this mountain. I've got my selections ready to rock.
Oh, I see what you did there. Rock, mountain,
yes.
Get it? All right, let's start in the South.
Yeah, that's where the top overall seed Auburn resides, but my biggest Cinderella of the entire tournament also here, 13th seed Yale. I've got them moving on to the Sweet 16. Why, you might ask? 7th best three-point shooting team in the nation, that's why. I've also got Iowa State taking on Auburn in the Elite Eight.
Ooh, it always helps when you can feel it from deep. All right, so let's turn the dial now and head to the West region where Florida is the top seed. PG, you have a whole lot of chaos in this region.
Who doesn't love chaos, right? I've got the 1 seed Florida right here. This is where the chaos is. They lose to two-time defending national champ UConn in the second round. And then look at that M right there. That's 4 seed Maryland. They call their starters the Crab Five. Not to be confused with the Fab Five. They're climbing Bracket Mountain all the way to the Final Four.
Yeah, that's creative. We dig it. All right, so we absolutely love this kind of chaos in March, obviously. How about in the Midwest? What do you like here?
I don't have a whole lot happening here. I do like High Point to upset Purdue in round 1. That's a 13 beating a 4. Otherwise, I love Houston to roll through. They'll play Tennessee in the Elite Eight.
Okay, so tell us about the East with Duke at the top.
I think they stay there. I think they'll make their way through playing Alabama in the Elite Eight, 2 of the highest scoring teams in the entire nation. But keep an eye on VCU. That's right here in yellow. VCU, I've got them going to the Sweet 16.
VCU, they've done this before in their history, right? Okay, so look at the top of the mountain, right? It is time for the Final Four.
I've got 3 1 seeds, just like you. Duke, Houston, Auburn, but the one standout is Maryland, that Crab Five. I love that. They're going to the Final Four. But in the end, I've got Houston and Auburn head-to-head in the title game. 2 great coaches, Kelvin Sampson and Bruce Pearl, facing off. And my winner, after their 4th straight 30-win season, the Houston Cougars will be the national champs. And I love Cougars, obviously. DB?
So I've heard. That's Pat Gallen, and that is Bracket Mountain. All the action starts Thursday at noon here on CBS. I'm Don Bell. He is Pat Gallen. Let the madness begin.